NASA's Explorer 1, the farthest coming to space mechanical assembling at any point sent off, has astounded its eyewitnesses on its excursion through the universe for almost 50 years. Explorer 1 has been sending back basic data from the farthest reaches of space, in a general sense reshaping our comprehension of the universe anyway. Its constant transmissions have introduced confusing signs that have left the whole space local area in a territory of miracle and bewilderment. These signals have started banners about whether they are the consequence of a specialized misfire or could demonstrate something undeniably more exceptional, maybe extraterrestrial action. Go along with us as we dive further into the secrets encompassing these amazing transmissions and uncover what may be secret in the profundities of mankind's interest in the secrets past our planet has been a main thrust in space investigation since its beginning. This voracious interest prompted the exceptional send-off of missions like Trailblazer 1 and Trailblazer 2, which were among the most aggressive space tries of their time. The send-off of Explorer 2 from NASA's Kennedy Space Center on August 20th, 1977, denoted the start of another time in space investigation, simply a brief time frame. Later on September 5th, Explorer 1 followed, making ready for an uncommon excursion. These twin shuttle, each gauging around 720 kilograms, generally the size of a little vehicle, were sent on uncommon directions close to the external planets, which played a fundamental job in their missions and results all through their amazing odyssey. These rockets went at shifting velocities and weighs a huge second happened on December 15, 1977, at the point when Explorer 1 surpassed its twin due to contrast in their direction since. Then Explorer 1 has arisen as an significant resource, giving basic data that has changed our comprehension of the universe and its numerous peculiarities. Before we dig into Explorer 1's latest amazing disclosure, which has caught the consideration of the whole space local area, how about we return to a portion of its generally eminent accomplishments? In 1978, during its Jovian imaging mission, Explorer 1 was situated roughly 265 million km from Earth. By January 1979, it set out on an mind-blowing 100-hour mission, catching a time slip by film of Jupiter's turn. This series of 3,750 pictures offered remarkable perspectives of Jupiter's dynamic environment and unpredictable elements. The space apparatus disclosures included distinguishing a little ring around Jupiter and two beforehand obscure moons, fundamentally extending how we might interpret the gas monster's complex framework to guarantee the shuttle's protected entry and keep away from possible crashes with Titan. One of Saturn's moon's restorative moves were performed after the fruitful Saturn mission. Researchers chose to close the planetary missions of both Explorer 1, also Explorer 2. Anyway, the shuttle were sent on new courses past the limits of our nearby planet group, voyaging at a surprising pace of 325 million km each year. In January 1990, the Interstellar mission started, with Explorer 1 proceeding with its heavenly excursion. During this period, Explorer 1 made huge revelations, including the idea of 4 extra moons, Mimas, Enceladus, and Rhea, and caught probably the most famous pictures of our nearby planet group on February 14, 1990. Roughly 6 billion km from the Sun, it set out on a visual excursion known as the family representation, catching staggering pictures of the inward planets. This assortment of 60 photos added to Explorer 1's noteworthy collection of 670 photographs taken during its experience. With Neptune, Explorer 2 likewise accomplished surprising achievements during its main goal, recording wind speeds surpassing 13,100 m/s, the quickest at any point saw in our planetary group. This achievement, given critical experiences into Neptune's far-off climate and its biggest moon, Triton, whose surface temperature decreases to a frigidus 391 to F, making it one of the coldest spots in the planetary group. Triton additionally showed uncommon highlights, including ice volcanoes that ejected nitrogen gas and moved frozen particles 5 kilometers into its air. These outstanding revelations have improved how we might interpret the changed and complex nature of divine bodies in the external locales of our sunlight-based framework. The Explorer missions have yielded critical and extraordinary outcomes. Both Explorer 1 and Explorer 2 uncovered that Jupiter and Saturn's moons, once thought to be vigorously scarred and dormant, are in reality dynamic with land processes. Explorer 2 specifically accomplished a few notable achievements, counting being the primary shuttle to fly by Uranus and Neptune, and it remains the main rocket to have done so. NASA utilized different procedures to broaden the functional life expectancy of these aggressive space apparatus, including closing down pointless warmers and frameworks to preserve energy. The mission is normal to close in 2030, denoting a snapshot of pride and a bit of trouble for the scientists and designers who committed themselves to this unprecedented attempt. The plan of Explorer 1 and Explorer 2 was a wonder. Designing these space apparatus were planned as steady stages, turning at a rate more than multiple times more slow than a clock hour hand. This planned decision limited visual obscuring as the rocket crossed the immense areas of room. Even previously arriving at the external planets, the shuttle started communicating pictures of Jupiter uncovering its twirling mists. Also, notorious elements like the incomparable red spot, a gigantic tempest on Jupiter that enamored crowds at NASA's Fly Impetus Research Center. Anyway, the disclosure of dynamic volcanoes on Jupiter's moon Io caught the most consideration. The rocket's instruments recognized strange signs from Io, which were affirmed by special pictures appearing, transcending volcanic crest and a surface scarred by ejections, quite possibly of Io's most conspicuous volcanoes, emitted with a force in excess of multiple times more noteworthy than that of Mount St. Helens, covering a region almost the size of France. As the space apparatus proceeded with their excursions, their cameras were ultimately switched off to preserve power and memory before they wandered into interstellar space. Surprisingly, the pictures they caught did exclude Mercury or Mars due to different elements past the Explorer tests. NASA sent off other remarkable shuttle, including Trailblazer 10, Trailblazer 11, and New Skylines. On February 17, 1998, Trailblazer 10 outperformed Trailblazer 11, turning into the farthest rocket from Earth regardless of the shortfall of other tests. To notice that Explorer 1 proceeded its performance process for 14 additional years prior to entering interstellar space on August 25, 2012. The progress of the Explorer missions was made conceivable through various creative methods, with gravity help move standing out as especially splendid. These moves were critical for pushing the shuttle to their far-off objective and get together crucial information. The space apparatus depended not just on their impetus frameworks, yet in addition on gravity helps to accomplish their targets. Envision 2 trying rocket deftly, exploring our nearby planet group, utilizing the gravitational draw of planets to move themselves forward. This divine dance permitted them to ration fuel and accomplish the important velocities to investigate far-off locales. Gravity help moves involved utilizing the gravitational pull of monstrous divine bodies, for example, Jupiter or Saturn P, to slingshot the space apparatus and speed up their speed. Without extra fuel utilization, this clever method was instrumental in empowering Explorer 1 and Explorer 2 to arrive at the farthest edges of our sunlight-based framework and pass by the last part of the 1980s as the Explorer tests moved past Uranus and Neptune. Researchers understood the potential for these space apparatus to proceed with their missions even later, finishing their essential goals accordingly. The Explorer Interstellar mission VIM was considered. The objective was to push the limits of human information by investigating the locale where the sun's impact melts away and interstellar space. Starts on August 25, 2012. Explorer 1 accomplished a notable achievement by turning into the primary human-made object to enter interstellar space. This progress was set apart by a tremendous change in the encompassing plasma thickness, affirming its entry through the helio. Pause the limit where the sun-oriented breeze meets the interstellar medium. Explorer 2 gone with the same pattern on November 5, 2018, making it the second space apparatus to reach interstellar space. Even in these unknown domains, the explorers kept on sending earth-shattering information. Explorer 1's instruments recognized high-energy grandiose beams from outside the planetary group, giving experiences into the interstellar medium's arrangement and elements comparably. Explorer 2's perceptions uncovered varieties in plasma thickness and attractive fields, extending how we might interpret the heliosphere external limit. Anyway, the excursion of these notable shuttle is approaching its end with their power supply, lessening. NASA designers have been decisively closing down trivial frameworks to expand their functional life expectancies. It is expected that by 2030 the Explorer test will no longer have the option to speak with Earth. Notwithstanding this inevitable quiet, their heritage will persevere as images of human creativity and interest. The Explorer tests convey a directive for any extraterrestrial creatures they may experience. Every shuttle is prepared with a well-known brilliant record of 12 inches gold-plated copper circle containing sounds and pictures addressing the variety of life and culture on the planet. Organized by a group drove via Carl Shawn, the record remembers good tidings for 55 dialects, music from different societies, regular sounds and pictures exhibiting Earth's biodiversity and human accomplishments. This ageless curio fills in as